Anything you wish me, there be a passion. Bad man no dey walk up, man no be God up. Make them the talker, I see they fly like helicopter. Never the grace of God and inshallah we dey move. Question, but then you get the answer. Question, but then you get the answer. Question, but then you get the answer. Question, but then you get the answer.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to start this series. It is officially my prep season. Okay, so I have been putting this off for a very long while because I was literally scared. I was scared of failing. I was scared of letting myself down. I was scared that if I put myself out there, I'm going to be seen like a failure or a disappointment or anything. But I mean, I've got to do what I've got to do, right? So welcome to my channel. If you've not been here before, I'm Fit and Fab Celeb on all social media platforms. With that name, you can never miss me. Okay, so I'll go straight into today's video. It is 1 week in my prep, and I must say that I have surprised myself this week. The beginning of the week, it was very rough, but then I picked myself up really quickly, and here we are today with great results. So I'm just going to go first of all straight into the summary and then do some breakdown and then the plan for the coming week. So I must let you know that this past week was my pre-shark week. Ladies, you know what that means. But it was very different from my experience before. So my results, straight into it. Last week I checked in at 77.9 kilograms, and this Sunday, 1 week later, I am checking in at 76.5 kilograms, bringing us at a loss of 1.5 kilograms. I'm so happy about that. I'm happy because at least what I'm doing is working, you know. I understand that for this first week, it might be like half of the weight loss might be water weight, because from the before and after pictures, which I'm going to post later, it's showing that I was really bloated, with some fat, of course. Yeah, so I lost 1.4 kilograms. This week I really was bang on with the steps. I was intentional with the steps. So my average steps was 12,531. My fluid intake on the average was 3,764 meals per day. My average calories, surprise, surprise, my average calories was 2,277 calories. My TDEE, based on the calculation that I have put in, came to around 2,400 and something, 430 or thereabout, over or below. Yeah, so I was still close to my TDEE, and I lost that amount of weight, which, as I said earlier, some of it might also be water weight, but I believe it's mostly fat and a bit of water here. And then on the summary of the diet that I implemented, 71.4% of the time I was eating keto, and 14.28% of the time I was eating low carb, and high carb for the same 14.29%, bringing everything to a total of 100%. I'm going to go into the details of the mishap that happened during the week and why we had that high carb day. Okay, stay with me. So on Sunday, being the day one, I had a total of 1,472 calories. Now, I don't know, I think I was like very, very passionate, I don't know, very determined, let's put it that way. Yes, that was what it was. That I was like, I'm gonna have this amount of calories, and I was so into it. I did have that amount of calorie. However, I paid a price. I paid a price of being sleep deprived. I could not sleep for anything. My last coffee was around 2 p.m. so it should have worn out of my system by the time evening falls. But it wasn't a case of coffee or caffeine. My body was just like hyperactive. My brain was going zang 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 zang. In fact, I felt like I could do 1 million things that night, but all I wanted was to just sleep. So I couldn't sleep, and I was awake all night up until 6 a.m. when I decided, man, I'm just gonna eat carbs, because carbs for me is like poison. Once I eat it, you know, to some extent it knocks me out, and that was exactly what happened. I had meal prepped some meal that I was gonna give my friend, but when I tasted the meal, I didn't like the taste, so I didn't want to give somebody what doesn't taste good to me. So then I said to myself, okay, fine, I've eaten the carbs, let's just have today as a carb day. So on Tuesday I ate at 6 a.m. I didn't sleep. Remember, I didn't sleep Sunday night. Okay, I didn't sleep Sunday night. I had done weight training, I had done cardio, I think I did sauna, I did a lot of things. I still couldn't sleep. I was so awake. So by 6 a.m. I gave up, and I had the carb. I had upwards of what's it, 521 grams of carbs. That was high. That's to show you how much I ate. I ate and I ate and I ate. I ate throughout the day. I ate 2 servings, 2 portions, went back to sleep. That's when I finally got my sleep, went to sleep. Then I got up and I continued eating, because I was like, I want to eat this earlier enough, and then I can do some weight training and use some of those glucose you know, energy from my weight training, and then I can continue with my normal diet. And that's exactly what I did. But on Wednesday, oh, by the way, the calories I had on Monday, you know, was 5,748 calories. 5,740. That is massive. Anywho, so when I got up on Tuesday, the effects of what I've done to my life kicked in, because my weight went up to 79 kilograms. I was expecting that. In fact, I was expecting more, but 79 kilograms, it wasn't that bad. Like, I gained 1.4 kilos from Monday, because my Monday weight was 77.6 kilograms. Yeah, so I went up in weight. I was like, oh God, okay. I had already told everyone that I was gonna start my dieting and, you know, my prep, and now see what I've done to myself, blah blah blah. But yeah, Tuesday I got myself back into order. My ketone level was low, of course, because what can man do? Man has eating carbs, so there's lots of carbs left in the liver and all that. Anyway, Tuesday got back into the groove. Had my keto meal. I got in 1,449 calories. It was all right. I felt satiated. I wasn't hungry. I had some fast. I think that day, yeah, I fasted for 24 hours. I fasted for 24 hours from Monday to Tuesday, and I had that keto calorie 1,400. Then on Wednesday, so this week, what I wanted to implement was a protein sparing modified fast cycling with a high feeding day. But it was supposed to be on Monday, but that Monday now everything went down the drain, right? So on Wednesday I had my I had my protein sparing modified fasting meal, but with a twist. Okay, I think I had MCT oil and butter for additional energy on Wednesday. Oh yeah, what happened was on Wednesday I started work at night. I worked night shift, so I had finished eating my meal in the evening before going to work, I think. So when I got to work, I was tired. Like after the first, bout of working, I was tired. So I was like, what am I gonna have? I had some butter. I had, first of all, made the coffee with MCT and drank that, but it didn't seem to be giving me what I needed. So I got myself some blocks of butter, small blocks of butter, and I had, I think, 8 of them. I should have stopped at 6, but I had 8 of them. The remaining 2 was like I was forcing myself. So next time, if there was a next time, I'm gonna stop at 6 because that is the sweet spot for me. And that 6 came up to around 42 kilo 42 grams, and that is like 3 tablespoons of butter. So that is what I'm gonna do next time. But yeah, that was what I had, and I was all right for the rest of the night. And then when I got home in the morning, I went to sleep. I think I had some nuts before I slept, because when I got home in the morning, I was feeling I was feeling depleted, exhausted, and I didn't want to go to bed hungry. So I had some nuts before going to sleep, and as soon as I finished eating that, sleep came and I went. So on the Thursday, I had 2,829 calories because of the nuts. I think I had 100 grams of cashew and 100 grams of almond nuts, and hence my either 100 or 50, I can't pinpoint. Hence my, what's it called, my calorie was 2,829 calories with 60 grams of carbs, 202 grams of protein, and 208 grams of fat for that day. So that was how the day went. And then I went back to work. Actually, I worked 3 nights, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I have watched a lot of videos. I have asked a lot of questions about how I'm going to fit in all this shift pattern work with bodybuilding and prepping and all that. And I think I have a little knowledge, and I have studied my body as well. So I was able to implement some things that really were effective this week. And I'll tell you one thing that is outstanding. And on Friday, I had a total calories of 1,185 calories. Still, it was still supposed to be my protein sparing modified fast calories. But when I got home on Friday morning after my night shift, I had another nut set again. However, this time around it was like smaller amounts. I think like 30 grams of cashew nuts and 34 grams of almonds, I think. And I think that was the last batch I had. So I was like, let me just finish this nuts. I don't think I want to put back nuts in my diet regimen, because it's making me, once I have it, it's making me think I cannot do any other thing but to look for that nut. So I had that, and I went to sleep, got up and ate the rest of my macros for the week. So on that day, I had 31 grams, almost 32 grams of carbs, 158 protein, and 52 fat because of the nuts. Otherwise, it would have been like, I don't know, 18 to 20 grams of fat because of the protein sparing fasting diet that I implemented. On Saturday, then, my calories went up. Because I had already now done some calculations and settled into what I want to be eating and how many calories I want to be eating that would not make me feel super deprived. Okay, so I settled into that. It was a lot. I think it took me like 2 hours to kind of like sit down, put my brain down, and sort out myself. So I had 1,941 calories. That was even that amount of calories was even less than what I was supposed to have by, I think, around by 100 calories or 120 calories. Yeah, so I had keto macros, 42 grams of carbs, 244 protein, 91 grams of fat. 244 grams of this, you can see that the protein level I'm intaking is really high. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to, for any means, have a depletion, have a loss of muscle mass. Okay, I don't care if the protein, some of them are being used for gluconeogenesis. I don't care at this point. I don't really give I'm not really paying attention to having high level of ketosis. My goal is to eat the ketogenic diet, but a high protein version, and don't bother about ketosis. What I bother about is fat loss, because sometimes my ketone levels are high, and then once I do a workout, the ketone level drop, which means my body has used the ketone as energy, as it should. So I'm monitoring the ketone level, but I'm not using it to judge whether, oh, I should reduce my protein. I'm gonna keep cranking my protein high until my body demands that I reduce it. Yeah, so those were the things that I did. Now, the strategy that I'm not going to be implementing in order to be efficient with my night shift duty, and and being able to be on this prep is, you can see that fasting is part of my protocol. Okay, however, I'm now changing my methodology. I'm not going to be hell bent on, oh, I must fast, say 16 or 18 hours every day. No. So for instance, if I go to work at night, maybe my last meal on the previous night was at 7 p.m. before going to work. If I go to work at night and I come back in the morning and I'm feeling like I need to eat something before going to sleep, I'm going to have my breakfast. So I'm going to split my fasting into two, okay? One for breakfast and the other times for other meals, okay? So I'll come back in the morning and have my breakfast and then go to bed. And when I wake up, I will be able to have the energy to do fasted cardio, fasted workout, so that when I come back, I will just bank my other meal, bank it in the evening. When I come back, after depleting my glycogen and everything, I can have my second meal. The first time I tried it, it was not even this past week. I felt really good. I was like, like I ate and I went to sleep. And when I woke up, I wasn't like feeling like I have to eat first before any other thing, and I've done it again and it's stuck. And I'm going to be implementing that, unless of course there are days where I really need to key into it and all that. Also, before I was like, okay, I have to take food to work because I get so tired at work, that I needed to eat something. But I think something that I have done this past week was that I went with the snake juice. It's a drink. It's just an electrolyte combination that was conjured by Cole Robinson. Just look for him on YouTube. And I have that snake juice that I made by myself. I'll take it to work whenever I have eaten my main meal and I don't want to eat anymore. And then when I feel that hunger, only take it when it's needed. When you feel that hunger, drink the juice. That's what I will be doing. So when I feel the hunger, I'll drink the juice. It contains sodium, potassium, and magnesium, the way I prep it. And that way I'm going to have electrolytes balanced out, because I think that sometimes when you're hungry, you're not actually hungry. Your body is just craving for some electrolytes, and the way it knows how to get those electrolytes is through food. So that's why it seems to you that, oh, it's hunger, but it's not hunger. it's the fact that your body wants some electrolytes. Okay, so that is what this pretty girl is going to be doing, unless of course maybe I have super depleted myself, that's ain't no way I could be drinking only sling juice. Then we'll think about food. But I also would be very careful, because I don't want to find myself in a situation whereby I did not plan properly and then I have to give in to eating what is not in my book for my weight loss or for my prep. Yeah, so that is everything for last week. I am so excited. This coming week is the Shark Week, ladies. It's the Shark Week, and you know normally what happens, we get bloated, we gain all the weight, all the cravings and everything. But I think I have the key, so I'm looking forward to what next week's result is going to be for me. So I noticed that during the Shark Week, I'm able to tolerate more fasting than every other times. So I'm going to see if I can put in 1 or 2 prolonged fasting for the week, or alternate day fasting. If not, we'll revert back to protein sparing modified fast. Okay, and then we'll see how it go. Thank you for coming here. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, so I'm going to be putting the before and after pictures for your lovely view, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.